धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेत
Om Shahanam Bhavatu, Shahanam Bhunaktu, Shahavirjai Karvavai, Tejvashinadhitamastu Ma Viddishavai. Let us sit down and study together. Through discussion, let us sharpen each other's intellect. May we not bear any ill will to each other. Peace, peace, peace. Let peace prevail. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantiri.
So, Amitabh, I think we have been covering this 7 chapters called Gyan Vigyan Yoga. And one of the things we wanted to do is this terminology, Gyan Vigyan, and some thoughts you had about, it's like whose point of view it is when we talk about Gyan, Vigyan, and Gyani. These are the 3 terms I think we do. And, when this chapter starts on the second verse, Jnanam tehi savijnana.
Yeah, the 2 terms that is used, Gyan and Vigyan.
Yeah.
Okay, Vigyan, Vishesh Gyan. So the English translation comes close to it. One is knowledge, and the other one is realization.
Yeah.
Okay, so we must distinguish these two. Knowledge in this chapter is described as knowledge which is about this physical world, which is made of natural elements,
Right.
which includes our own self, our body,
Yeah.
okay, and our mind too, because that's the psychological component of our existence. Okay. On the other hand, the realization is about the absolute Brahman, okay, which is the transcendental, universal life energy. One cannot contain it within the body or any particular form. It is basically omnipotent, omnipresent, and ever pervading. Okay, and that is the main distinction. Okay, so on one hand, when we have the knowledge about this material world, our own selves, as we are made up of, our name, our form, okay, our mental, psychological identification as I, me, mine type of thing. And then there's a universal type of existence, which is the universal transcendental energy, which is Brahman. So that we go one step further to realize that everything in this world that has come up or happens is because of the Brahman. So that is the realization, and the other one is the knowledge. So this distinction is very important. I often call it absolute and relative, but
Yeah.
I thought it is necessary to.
So when you say absolute, you are indicating the
Universal life energy, universal transcendental life energy, Atman Brahman. That's what I'm
that
talking about.
terminology here is
Yes.
Vigyan.
Yes.
Gyan is the knowledge. So
Knowledge about the physical world, anything made of natural elements, our mental, psychological constitution. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. In simple terms, just for, as we are doctors, we are surgeons. So reading the surgery book, knowing the surgery book is kind of knowledge, but becoming a surgeon, having had the experience of that is more like the
Yes.
second part, right? The Vigyan.
That is it.
Yeah, and when you become that person is called Gyani. That's what we learned last time when we learned about the
Yeah.
what kind of
That is,
people are looking for Krishna, and the highest one is Gyani.
yeah. Uh, uh,
So,
there's a little confusion about that.
yeah,
Okay. So many times Gyani people just associate with the Gyan or the natural elements, physical world, and all that.
Right.
Krishna later on in this verses describes one who is Nitya Yuktam, who is always in
Right.
union with me.
Yeah.
He is the true
So that's
person.
why he defines here,
That's right.
so that there is no confusion.
That's right.
Yeah. And then that's where we left last time. The verse 8, I think it's 18 is the verse, or 17. And 18 today is kind of, a little um, same thing that he's saying, that that person is very much like me. Mame
Yes.
vanu tamam gatim.
Yeah.
He behaves as if he's a reflection of me, or he's very similar
He,
to me.
he's the Uttama, means he's the
Yeah,
great and he's closer to me.
yeah,
That's all.
right. Closest, or very,
Closest.
very much like me.
Yes.
And then he goes on to say that it takes lifetime or lifelong or many life search to get to that place, where the person feels like Vasudeva Sarvamati. It's like this is the ultimate, to recognize what his true form is takes people many, many lives. Um, but in the meantime, then he goes on to, I mean, this is the part that I really love of Gita, and the whole Eastern philosophy or Eastern approach. So, first of all, he comes across as if he's the top. He's the kind of, ISKCON people put him Godhead, right? So he is describing himself as there is nothing beyond him. But he is not saying that if you don't listen to me, or not even if you, he doesn't even talk about if you have to listen to him or not. Even Arjun, ultimately he says it's your choice. So this freedom of choice coming from the highest personality is something unique. And he also recognizes that there are many people who live life at different levels. And whatever level they may be worshiping to their own demigod or their own what they think is God. And they're doing, I mean, he says, yo, yo, yam, yam, tanu bhakta. Whoever worships, whoever person, he acknowledges that, and he says that I facilitate him. So he's not going to ask him to change what he's doing. If the person changes himself because his level changes, that's different. So this whole thing is just fascinating. The whole philosophy or whole thinking that there is freedom. You are free to do what you want to do, Amitabh. I'm free to do what want to do. And if I don't pay attention to Krishna who is sitting next to me, so be it. He's not even going to expose who he is.
Yeah. He basically mentions that when we assign some value or create our own deities or any particular form, and the way we worship all these things, uh, because of the traits that we have.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he doesn't kind of punish those kind of people, but he says that yes, it is because of their traits they are following it. Maybe they have not realized it yet. That's why they are doing it.
Yeah.
There will be multiple birth, or in other words, multiple tries when they will be self-realized. They will also know that whatever they are worshiping, I am expressed through those things. according to their worshipping of different forms, they will get the result accordingly, but ultimately they will come down to the self-realization that Brahman is the one who is pervading through everything. And that freedom
Yeah,
and that kind of trying again and again without any denigration is
right.
the most important thing. It's
I
like a
think there
good
are two parts, Amitabh. One is not only the denigration that, you won't be kind of, he won't belittle you, but also if you are doing good work, you will get, the good,
some result, yes.
yeah, good results from that. So you may not get enlightened or get jnani, the definition that Krishna says, but whatever level you are, if you're doing some good work, some good service, you will be rewarded. I mean, that is very clear here.
That's a very, yeah.
Yeah,
He even says that I offered them the reward accordingly.
right. Yeah, I facilitate or, yeah, through those uh, gods or demigods. So he's kind of leaving this open of thousands of gods that may exist. You can
Sure.
have your own god. Each
Yeah,
individual. Yeah,
one can worship the way they think. This is in total contrast with Abrahamic religion.
yeah,
Okay. So here you have the freedom according to your level of intelligence or level of grasping.
yeah,
But through that, one comes to realize what the transcendental universal life energy Brahman is.
yeah.
This is a beautiful concept.
Ultimately, you will get there. That's what.
Yes, that's right.
So
That's
yeah.
right.
No, I think it's a very important point that he's not only accepting, but he's, being part of those. He's become
He's
a
not
kind
only
of,
accepting, he's facilitating it.
yeah, right. He's so it doesn't matter. I mean, I mean, at that time, according to what we know, there was no Abrahamic whatever, or maybe Baba, Abraham may have been there, but even anything is accepted, whatever way you live. You know, of course, goodness. I mean, if you do bad things, I mean, the karma principle will play their role. But for the goodness, you will be rewarded in your terms. You will
Yes.
you will once you consume that and once you exhaust your uh, kind of goodness rewards, then you come back and start all over again from where you left off. Those people who don't want to recognize Krishna, Krishna is saying that because of my, it's like I don't, to them, I don't show up, Naham prakasha sarvasya. So I'm not going everywhere saying I'm Krishna, So what he told Arjun was meant for Arjun. He's not going to tell the same story to Duryodhan or to other people in that, the whole area that is there. For them, he's just like any other human being.
There's a very important, I think, verse that is one in the 25, I think. Antabanta, that one you said is pretty
Yeah.
good.
No, I mean, the 25 is the one, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavrita.
That's right. This is
Yeah.
very important
This is,
because,
I think, is extremely important. Yeah.
yes, because he says that my expression is covered by the Maya, which Shankaracharya called Maya.
Yeah.
This is the avidya, Maya, aparavidya, whatever you want to call. This is how my whole transcendental energy is covered up, and people cannot see it usually.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how it causes duality. Now, duality is that word needs a little bit of explanation. Duality means here that we associate ourselves as if we are the doer, okay? I, me, mine, it's
Right.
expression our ego desire complex.
Yeah.
So we think we are the one who is doing it. In actuality, according to this philosophy, all comes from Brahman. So as long as we identify with our body, our name, nam rupam, as long as we have got that ego desire complex, as long as we have that perception, we always try to separate ourselves from that universal life energy. Okay, forgetting our relationship with of our Atman with that Brahman. Okay, our that that Atman is a little spark from that universal life energy. So as long as we identify with name, body, our own selves only as a doer, okay, then we don't see that universal life energy of the Brahman. So it causes a duality. And that duality comes from avidya or maya. Once we remove that, then we realize who truly we are. And this is the essence of Atma Sarup Gyan,
Yeah, but when
self-realization.
you say avidya, can you explain that in English?
Vidya is basically lessons and the knowledge that we get from it. If
Avidya.
avidya.
Okay.
And so if we don't have it, then it is ignorance.
Okay. So avidya translates to ignorance.
Yes.
Okay.
Agidya, avidya, aparavidya, maya, all these things are ignorance, basically.
Yeah.
And it all stems from duality.
Yeah. But, he very specifically says that I use this yoga maya to hide myself
Yes.
from those people who don't want to know or are busy doing something else. Because it is true. We are all busy doing something else. We
Yes.
don't find time, or it's like either our career or our degree or our diploma or you know politics or just gossip. We find 100 reasons not to um, kind of think about who am I, or who is Paramatma, or who is here Krishna. I mean, we just find many reasons not to do that. And
That's,
for us, or for people like that, Krishna says, you know, I love this word that he uses. Let me get to that. Naham prakashah sarvasya. I am not, throwing my own light here everywhere. It is interesting because even when we, go to conference or meeting, I mean, if there is some surgeon or some, it's like high level profile person, they usually don't, I mean, kind of flash around, right? I mean, the humility or humble, we talked about earlier.
we talked about the verse where Krishna says,
Yeah,
the person who is near and dear to him is the
yeah,
one who has got the knowledge,
yeah,
who has devotion, and who has the service.
right.
Okay. And later on, he uses the word nitya yuktam or yuktatma.
Yeah,
Yuktatma. Okay. So the point is, you as long as we think like we are the doer,
right.
whole ego causes a separation, not union.
Yeah.
Okay. So yuktatma or nitya
Tesham
yukta.
jnani nityukta
Yep.
eka
That's
bhaktir vishishyate. So he's a
yes.
nitya yukt,
All the time in union.
yeah. And then also ek bhakti. That was
Yep.
the other
Devotion.
thing. Yeah. You know,
So the example that you said,
yeah,
that when a high profile personality comes and gives a talk,
yeah,
okay, you do not get you get awestruck with their knowledge,
yeah,
but you do not get their utter sincerity, utter humility. They are not presenting their knowledge with humility. Now, you talked about surgery. When
Right.
when we have a patient and we are treating them, operating on them, very few people think that this is a fellow human being and I am the agent and I have to do my job right.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the time, what happens, I know a lot, I can do this, I can do this, I cured the person and all that. So
Mm.
this is a totally different attitude about doing the service with full attention, yet being always in union with that Atman Brahman relationship. I am serving another
Yeah.
fellow human.
Well, Atman Brahman relationship, or well, basically, I think there is the flow. There is a flow there.
Yes,
Things are
basically
just
that.
flowing through you.
That's
And that
right.
flow, if you let it flow, I think the whole thing,
Yes.
it's not just doing the surgery, but the whole atmosphere in the room and everything else. Because sometimes, when you say Atman Brahman, union, many people listening, it's difficult to
Uh,
understand sometimes. So,
I understand that. What you
yeah,
just said, very, very important.
yeah,
You, we are the agent through which that grace flows.
right. Or that surgery flows, that procedure
Well,
flows.
grace can be in different ways. Our knowledge, our expertise, and everything. It just flows through it.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes people call it being in the zone.
Yeah, being in the zone, being in the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're there and it happens. And
And when you are in the zone or the flows, okay, you forget about who you are. This is the thing that you have to do, and you have to, and you make a three-pointer
yeah,
without
that
even
that
thinking.
that never crosses your, yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
So in that job, you lose yourself.
yeah. It's a good way to put it. I still love this yo yam yam tanu bhakta. This whole approach of Krishna is like he's giving 700 verses in Gita, but none of them is a commandment. And number one. And number two, he doesn't say you have to listen to me. So there is no room or no hint or no even a kind of suggestion that Arjun or anybody has to change what he is. He can stay who he is. He can worship who he wants to worship. He can not worship if he doesn't want to worship. And he doesn't, I mean, even in the end, as we said, Krishna says, I have said it, what I have to say. Now you have to make the choice. You have to make the decision. So this freedom of making decisions in life, as you said, some of the Abrahamic religion, they have do's and don'ts and
And actually, to be very frank, the ritualistic religion, all of them have the same thing. You have to do this, you have to do that, all that. Here, he gives all the freedom.
yeah.
He suggests, tells you what is the best path, and then he shows it. But the the path that we adopt, we have to walk ourselves. Our teacher can show us the path, but the walking is our own.
I
That
think you made an important point. Whenever there is an institution or a religion, then you have these ritualistic things. But that's one thing reading this at least seven chapter and even the whole of Gita, it seems like it should be taken out of that religion bucket if someone has put it by mistake. Or, it's like Eastern bucket. I think it's a universal companion, right? I mean, it
that's
doesn't
right.
belong to any bucket.
No, actually, you see, uh, for human emotions, best thing happens. How you can change human behavior? The commonest and the easiest is reward and reprimand.
Yeah,
That works beautifully for most of the people who do not want to think deep.
right.
And if you, the other thing is they want something tangible.
Yeah,
Okay. Tangible means you do certain procedures, certain rituals, and you feel very good. Okay,
Yeah.
but this one is basically realization.
Yeah, but
Basically,
even then, he says, yo, yo, yam, yam. Even
yes,
if you're doing that, that's okay.
that's okay.
To
Yes,
him, it's okay. And he
yes,
will even facilitate you to,
yes,
it's like encourage you to do that because you
yes.
are at that level.
If you get something good out of it, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But ultimately is self-realization. Ultimately, all of them come to it because you will see in the verse 29, 30, he does say that
Yeah.
these deities, the procedures, and all these things, I am all of them. Okay,
Yeah. No, so, I mean, granted, but he's saying that you do at the level that you are. And your
exactly.
level may change as
Yes,
move up. But at your level, you do it, and that's fine. So the last two verses I wanted to do is, he says that what you said, earlier, ichha dvesh samuthena, dvando mohena bharata. So dvand happens because of ichha and dvesh. So either you desire something to have something, or you desire someone else not to have it.
yeah,
Ichha is like your desire,
yes.
and dvesh is kind of jealousy, right?
Envy.
Envy. So either you want something or you want someone not to have something. And so, and those people will not, it's like they are busy in their sarva bhutani sammoham. They are kind of engaged in their own world. They don't know about me.
They are caught in this illusion.
Yeah, they're caught in their
Okay,
own world of, you
that's
know,
right.
desire and jealousy.
Yes, and
And
that leads to sammoham, and that is
then,
the deluded state of
right. It
mind.
keeps you engaged, busy, through that some more means they stay confused or engaged or but then he says that on the other hand, people who do non-attached functioning and working, they're not attached, non-attached, they don't have this, desire driving them. Um, those people are able to come to me. So you remember, we talked about this, the desire as a driving force. And for them, they will have this, their own gods or demigods, and they will do good things and they will get good rewards from that. So that's the desire pathway where, that's the force. Then niyatam kuru karma tvam, and then that place you are doing all your work without any attachment and without the force of desire. It's like inner force coming through you that we talked about, and at that level you start realizing Krishna. But then the third level, when you become kind of one with him, that jnani stage, and you still function, because I think next in the next chapter we will come to that. You are still functioning, fully functioning, and achieving your work, but at the same time, you are also fully merged with Krishna, or the ultimate, or you're working for God. I like that three categories that we have had description about.
Can I just mention about a story from Ramakrishna Mission?
Sure.
There was a very enthusiastic monk who started a new temple and a new uh, order in a particular town.
Yeah.
And he was keeping the books and everything. He was running it just perfect. Okay.
Hmm.
And the mission was growing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the president of the Ramakrishna Mission came one day, looked at everything. His bookkeeping is meticulous. He
Yeah.
has done everything. He supervises the construction of the temple and all that. And then he tells him that, well, you have done the job nice, but it is time for you to get back to the main mutt. in Belur. Okay.
Yeah.
He took him that. So he gets all flustered. I did all my job. Fine. Why did you do that? So he said, yes, you did everything very meticulously, and that's wonderful. But you forgot ultimately for what you are doing it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You So basically, it reminds me of very enthusiastic people who are evangelical,
Hmm.
okay, who's trying to spread the God's word. And
Yeah.
they think that they are doing the God's work very beautifully. No wonder their sincerity towards that is very good,
Yeah.
but they have already forgot what actually God wants.
Got where he is there. Yeah. Talking about Ramakrishna story, there is another story that I heard from Osho about, and this is about who Gyani is, that Gyani and the person who is just knowledge only. Um, and the story is fascinating because there is this some person comes to Ramakrishna and says that I will prove that there is no God. And I think people gather around because the person who came was a very good logician, and he was well-known person at the time. Um, and so he comes, and Ramakrishna agrees for this debate. So gives, one reason after another. It's like why there should be no God. And Ramakrishna, Paramahansa, he is so happy. He said, "Wonderful! Such a wonderful logic." But he's not giving any counter logic. So the debate continues, and the person is exhausted because he's not getting any kind of it's like a counter to whatever he's saying. Ramakrishna is agreeing. So he finally says, "What is your logic?" He says, "I don't need a logic. I have seen him." So logic is only needed if you don't know if God exists or not. I have met him. I have seen him. It's like I have seen Amitav Ghosh, and someone comes and proves that Amitav Ghosh is not there, then it doesn't mean anything. I don't need a logic. So it's interesting that, it's like Jnani is something like what Ramakrishna is describing, that he has been with God.
And that's why we distinguish the two words, knowledge versus realization.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's important. Now, since we talked about these stories, I remember I talked with you about what the yuktatma or nitya yuktam,
Yeah.
being always in union. And Ramakrishna has always
Nitya
used
Yukta, I
to
mean, always, it's like,
always in union
yeah,
with Brahman.
yeah.
So Ramakrishna used to tell little stories from uh, Bengali villages, and he said that when the daughter-in-law comes in the house and she has taken her in-laws house and she functions to the best of her ability. Okay, she does everything, cooking, cleaning, whatever is needed, and yet she is all the time cognizant about the need of the infant she has. So she's doing everything, but her mind and her ekagrata or the steadfast affection is always towards that newborn child.
The undercurrent.
Yes, and that's what Ramakrishna, how he explained Nitya Yukta or Yuktatma.
Hmm.
So,
No, I think we will definitely come back to that. I think the next time we do the last two verses of seventh chapter, I'm going to move it to eighth chapter because those were the kind of ground for the beginning of the eighth chapter, where it is all about Brahma and Adhyatma
yes,
and that kind of thing. But here I will go back to yo yo yam yam tanu bhakta. I think that's so important for me in this time and age when um, people sometimes try to put their own um, kind of beliefs and faiths and things in one place. one corner or the other. That how liberal Krishna is, not only liberal, I mean, how understanding he is just amazing. I
Yeah.
mean,
Actually,
coming
coming
from
back,
the highest level of personality, that yes, all these things happen, and
uh, and the same thing coming back to Ramakrishna, he always used to say that in Bengali, "Joto mot toto path."
yeah.
How the- whatever the ideology is, there are accordingly many paths.
And he accepts that. That
He
is,
accepts. Yes,
it's not only it is, but it's
he's
also,
accept. Yeah,
yeah.
and basically that means according to one's guna perception, okay, whatever it
Yeah.
is, they
Whatever level you are,
whatever level they are, they choose their path to salvation that way.
eh? Or not to salvation, but it's
Oh, not
okay.
to salvation. Yes,
Yeah.
it is their choice.
Yeah, it is their choice.
But the direction is always there from somebody superior, like Krishna. There's always there. It is their choice what they do.
If you choose to look to him.
Yes.
Veda